right, good people, it's Yvonne, the motivated man from Determined Women of Destiny. This is the show that gives you the business, the good, the bad, and the beautiful of female entrepreneurship. I am so grateful to have Annette Runcie with me today. Many of you saw last weekend, I was celebrating and eating and having a good time at PaNash Euro Soul Restaurant in Rosedale, New York. It was Independence Day celebration for Jamaica. And when I tell you that food was good, ooh, child, that food was excellent. And I have with me the owner of that restaurant. Welcome, Annette. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Yvonne. I'm busy as usual, running around to all the businesses and, just working.
Yeah. And when you said businesses, she just is not the owner of PaNash. I believe you own 2 Golden Crust.
Actually, 1 Golden Crust in Queens Village.
Okay. And then you're opening up another business in JFK, the airport here in New York.
That is correct. We actually is open, JMP Runway Cafe. So I have partnered with another business owner, another restaurant in Southeast Queens. And we opened last October. So we're still in startup phase. We're excited, yes, in the Port Authority Administrative Building 14. That's actually where I'm at right now. So we're very excited.
Listen, that sounds exciting. Tell us, how did you start in the restaurant business?
Well, it's actually, I was inspired by my dad and my sister. So, when I grew up in Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica, and I'm like a family of 7. The last of 7 kids. And so when we used to be at the dinner table, it was something that was always talked about, wouldn't it be nice? Because my home was always a home where everyone came, to get food. You know what I mean? They'd be passing by. Oh, we know there's always food in this house. So we always had food in our house. And so we always talked about, it would be really nice to have a family restaurant. Well, I never thought I was going to be the one, to start this family legacy. I went to Procter & Gamble. I worked for corporate America for many years. And then I decided when they were downsizing that I was going to take a package and I was going to start the family legacy of a restaurant. And so that's where it all began. Okay,
so ladies, what have I been talking to you about in the last few weeks? Seeing the shift, moving, and taking opportunities. Instead of waiting for the downsize to crash on her head, she took the package and said, hey, let me do something else. So, that's seeing the shift in business, being business savvy, and moving when, we say, when the cloud moves, you move with the cloud. She moved with the cloud. So what was
correct.
What was your first business?
Well, it was clear when I left Procter & Gamble from the corporate, I didn't know anything about the restaurant business. And so that is why I basically did my research, and it was clear that franchises, had not over 99% success rate. However, if you just start up your own mom and pop, that had 90-something% failure rate. So in just doing the math, I said I was going to open a franchise. So my first business was the Golden Crust franchise. I wanted it to be a food that I can relate to. And as you said, in really creating a legacy and building wealth, you can't work for somebody else and build wealth, right? You can't hand down your job to your kids, but you can hand down a business to your kids. And so that was the real thing for me. That was the driver for me. So I went and opened the Golden Crust so that I can learn the business, learn the restaurant business.
Okay, so the lessons that you learned from the Golden Crust, whether it was ups and downs, you took it to your next business. And
that is correct.
And was that PaNash?
That is correct. So that was PaNash. That was my plan. You know, like I said, you know, a lot of people want stuff right away. And many successful people will tell you it takes discipline, it takes patience. So I kind of planned it out. I said I was going to do the French, I was going to do the golden crust, and I am going to basically make that be the cash cow that is going to provide the source and the income for PaNash. And so that's what I did. So after, I think it was less than almost 10 years into running Golden Crust is when I started up PaNash.
And I like what you said that it wasn't an overnight success. You did your research. You found out that franchises had a 99% success rate opposed to starting it from the ground up that had a 99% failure rate. So you went for the franchise and you used the franchise as the money to fuel your dream. So like I say to all of my women that are still working a 9-to-5, stop grumbling. Take that money, that's your cash cow, and use it to funnel your dream. And don't think it's going to happen overnight, because it's not. And if it happens to happen overnight, good. But before you go into business, just know it's going to be some hard work. You're going to have to roll up your sleeves. There's going to be sleepless nights. And I'm quite sure, Annette, you had quite a few. And some tears on your pillow. Just tell us, the struggle, in the beginning with that franchise and then coming to PaNash.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. There's been tears, there's been sleepless nights, there's been struggles and challenges and barriers and boundaries, and especially, of course, right, as a Black woman. So when I had that vision of the Golden Crust, my husband was not there with me. He wasn't on board, and it wasn't because he was not a supportive husband. It's just because he knew the work that it's going to take to run a restaurant. A restaurant business is a very difficult and hard working business. So it was one of those things where I kind of stepped out there and said, listen, I'm going to do this, and I hope that you would join me and support me, but I'm jumping in and doing this. And he came along, and now he's been very, very supportive of it. But Golden Crust as a franchise it's a very young, it's not like McDonald's, or Burger King, so one of my biggest challenges is the support system that I was expecting to get from the franchise was not necessarily there. The brand was there, so people recognize Golden Crust brand. So that's what helped in assisting to bring people through those doors. But keeping them, I had to rely on my corporate background and business management. A lot of our people, really think that, I can cook, so I'm just going to open a restaurant. And it's so not it. The biggest work and the biggest challenges that you're going to have in running a restaurant is business management, HR, managing people, and managing the business management. So that is the most difficult task. And those, thank God I had that. I built on the experience that I had in Procter & Gamble, because business is business. Yes, it is. And those were the key things, and I'm happy that I had those, because there were really no support, especially for Black, businesses, in Southeast Queens, and I had to rely on a lot of the experience that I had. I had many challenges where we were targeted by the health department, we're targeted with fines, there were a lot of challenges, and that's just a few.
Okay. When we come back from break, we're going to discuss PaNash. I just fell in love with that place, but we're going to go to break, and please come back and join us and hear a little bit more about Annette's journey through being a restaurateur. We'll be right back.
Yearning for unique catered Caribbean, Mediterranean, and American soul dishes at a sophisticated venue? Then the award-winning PaNash Soul Catering and Events is the place you've been looking for. We offer on-site and off-site catering packages for all private events, subscription meals, homemade sauces, and venue rental packages for your selection. Visit us on a Tuesday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 14414 243rd Street, Rosedale, New York, or contact us at 718-978-6094 to book your next spectacular event. Remember to live life with a dash of PaNash.
Well, welcome back to Determined Women of Destiny. If you're just joining me, you know what I always say, shame on you. You know you're supposed to come in the beginning because all the good stuff starts at the beginning, but I do love you for joining me now. I have my guest is Annette Runcie. She is the owner of PaNash Euro Soul Restaurant. She's the owner of a Golden Crust, and she also has a restaurant in JFK. And before we went to break, she was discussing with us the business of business, not just jumping in saying, hey, listen, I could cook. So if I cook up some food and I go and open up and I'm going to be rich overnight, and that's not your target market. How to keep your customers not only coming in the door, but coming back in the door, offering a service that people, really enjoy. When I went to PaNash Euro Soul Restaurant, which is located in Queens, the first thing I felt was a comfortability and a quaintness. It was just so comfortable. Besides the fact the food is excellent. And you guys know I love my codfish fritters and my ackee and saltfish, and it was done to perfection. And I just set my camera up, and just wanted all of you to see live the ambiance that was there. And when the DJ started doing karaoke, I was done because he had a beautiful voice. So shout out to DJ Hershey. But Annette, tell us, you did the Golden Crust. You used it as a cash cow. You fueled that money into PaNash.